The anticipation is destroying my mind and my soul and my body. There will be lasagna. Lasagne. Lasagne. But only at the end of all of this. I really wish it didn't take YouTube like over a minute sometimes to like send people a notification or whatever. That would be nice. Hey, Paul. Top of the evening. Hey. Guys, look at this new trick I can do. Boop. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need to be that close. But like right there is about perfect. At least I think so. My older iPhone, for whatever reason, it wouldn't do that on the front camera. Nose hairs? Oh, dude, hairs everywhere. Look at me. I am hair. All right. All I am is hair. Can't wait to get me some lasagna. You don't get none, bro. But I do. At the end of this, I'll be fucking leaving all of you behind to eat delicious lasagna. Can I ask you guys a question? I feel like I am racing to gray. Okay? Am I wrong, or is this getting way grayer, way quicker? This whole shit right here, all of that, all of this. Have you guys noticed this, or do you guys think it's just like normal? Because I feel like month to month, the last 6 months or so, it's noticeably like graying out. No, I'm ready. I've wanted it for a long time. I just didn't know it was gonna come this soon. Like 44? I thought maybe like in my 50s is when I'd start really fucking going like, but I guess 44 maybe? You're almost ready to become wise king, Paul. True. I didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna be so soon. But I'm digging it. I think it looks great. Like, I love how white it's getting here because I hope the rest of it is all this kind of like really light gray here. That'd be so sick. That'd be so sick, man. I'm ready to chase this last 20 years of life down. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 105 degrees for the next 2 days. It's gonna be like fucking soup. I probably won't be able to stream tomorrow, to be honest with you. If I do, it'll be a morning stream and that's it. Cause like this evening stream shit, it won't get below 100 until like 7 or 8 tomorrow. It's gonna be fucked, bro. Start growing gray. Some people do like prematurely gray, or it's like get like a spot of gray. But I feel like I'm really getting gray and I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it so far. I'm kind of liking this too. It's like my mustache isn't going gray as fast, so I might be one of those dudes that has like the gray chops and the gray goatee, but then like a different colored mustache that blends into it right there. That might be fucking dope looking. Bro, depending on your perspective, Getting old is actually really fucking cool, man. Do you date men with no teeth? Sure. Gum men? What the fuck is a gum man, dude? You're just gonna get banned if you walk in here and your first interaction with me is like telling me what to do, telling me, like, giving me advice I didn't ask for. Today's watch is the Stern Glass Hamburg Chrono, a Mecha Quartz chronograph. Let me start the chrono for you. You can see the red hand. That is the chronograph hand. This is accurately keeping time between 2 points. And when you're done, let me see if I can do this all for you. This is the coolest part about a chrono. You ready? Stop it. Reset. Hold on. Stop it. Reset. Bloop. Oh, that's so cool. That's why you get a chronograph, because that's just fun to look at. I don't think I'll be timing any regatta sailboats anytime soon. But yeah, dude. Not a bad watch for a milk pig, true. Did you guys see that though? You guys saw the reset? That shit is dope. Damn, that shit is dope. Old school radio dial. Yeah, it has old school instrument styling. So it's Bauhaus design, German Bauhaus design. When it comes to watches, are typically designed after instrument panels on aircraft. So if you can imagine this being your gauges or a gauge cluster on an aircraft, that is what this is for. What do those retail for? This I bought during the first week of release. So typically if you like a brand, you want to follow them and they'll send you like push notifications and stuff when they've got a new release. So I got a notification from Stern Glass, went there, I looked at it and my heart stopped. Like, this is my watch. I was like, I have to have that watch. I think because I bought it early, I got it for $399. I think they sell for $450 now. I might be wrong. I like the watch band, look comfy. Yeah, that's they call it a NATO strap. It's canvas basically. I've got leather, I've got rubber. I can throw other straps on this thing really, really easily. My next watch is probably going to be a Seiko Presage or a Stern Glass Naos. I really do like the Naos a lot, but I'm a fan of mechanical, so. I like that kind of angular Tissot with the metal band. Tissots are just fucking beautiful, man. I want to get a PRX. But they're expensive. They're a little upwards of $1,000, I think. You can get a Naos in automatic. Well, maybe that's new. I want to get the Naos XL in automatic. If they make that, I might end up getting one. Are watches popular with men because they're one of the pieces of jewelry that are socially acceptable for men to wear? I don't know. I was raised around watches, and my dad always had a watch on when I was a kid. My granddad, like all the dudes I looked up to, always had watches. I didn't I didn't wear oh my god. I didn't wear watches for years and years. And then a couple of years ago, I started looking at watches. It was actually the funniest thing. This is like the weirdest. It's so weird when you think of ways you end up getting into hobbies. I got into so I was watching a lot of new rappers at the time, and YouTube sent me this like algorithm thing where it was like Sway Lee or somebody, I can't remember who, some rapper comes to Icebox and drops 100K or whatever the fuck, right? And I was like, Jesus Christ, 100K worth of jewelry. And so I went in, I watched that video, and it was kind of fun, you know, see the rapper talk with people out of their element and all that stuff. And then he was like, he was like, you want to look at that AP? And he was like, oh, you got the AP bag? He's like, yeah, you want to look at the AP? He brings out this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. And I immediately like felt a jolt when that thing when he put it down and they gave a good shot of that Royal Oak. I was like, holy shit, that's a fucking beautiful watch. And I was like, that sent me down a rabbit hole. I was like, man, I wonder what Rolexes are looking like these days. Oh, pretty much like a Rolex. Okay, cool. Haven't changed much. Good to see. What else is going on in watches? And I found Along and Sona. I found, Patek Philippe and Vacheron Constantin. And I started like looking at watches, obviously with no intent on ever buying one, because all of those brands are like, I mean, like the lowest you're gonna get a watch like 80 grand from one of those brands probably. Especially on like the gray market, because it's impossible to get these factory new, like a lot of these brands as a normal person, even if you had the money. And so I started looking at like these expensive watches and watching these channels that reviewed and went over the features of the expensive watches, and just like kind of like doing what we all do, right? Fantasizing about having more money than we've got, or whatever you want to call it, right? And then one day, just in my watch fucking land, I saw somebody doing a review of a micro brand. And the micro brand that they were reviewing was Tissot. It was actually the Tissot PRX. And I was like, whoa, that looks like a Royal Oak with the integrated band and the Swiss movement and everything. That's actually a really pretty watch. And he was like, it's $1,000. I was like, what? So I started looking into micro brands, and then I was hooked. Because now I'm looking at things that, yeah, I don't buy them all the time, but if I save up money, I can get myself a watch pretty much whenever I want. And so now it's all like, for me, it's less about worrying about the money end of it, because I don't buy, you know, I might end up buying one or two of these a year once I'm settled. It's more about like, what don't I have, right? I want, yeah, Tissot, I mean, Tissot's right on the edge of a micro brand. Do any of these high-tier watchmakers make pocket watches? Some of them do. Along & Sona, I know for a fact, makes a pocket watch. I know Vacheron makes a pocket watch. I don't know about AP, but I assume that both AP and Patek Philippe probably make a pocket watch. Rolex, probably not. Jacob & Co, probably not. Maybe though. I could see Jacob & Co making a big fat fucking $28 million pocket watch. Bulova, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bulova watches or Fossil watches. One of the things that you find when you start looking at watches is how starkly the design language of Rolex has influenced watch brands. It is like fucking Every watch brand out there has the design language of a Rolex Explorer, a Rolex Datejust, Day Date, like the three big kind of Rolex, Seamaster or whatever they call it, or Oyster Perpetuals. Like those, people have just remade them over and over and over. I love diving watches, but that's only because I discovered that a diving watch doesn't have to look like a Rolex. Do yourself a favor. I'm saving up for a diving watch. Look at the Isotope watches NSFW. That's probably the diving watch I'm going to buy myself. Maybe next year, if it's still available. You can just do a quick Google search. Isotope watches NSF. It's the yeah, just NSFW. It's a purple-faced diving watch. It's fucking beautiful. It's probably the watch I'll get. Oh yeah, no, I just said Bulova are not my scene. They make beautiful watches. Dude, Rados are beautiful. I love Rados. I don't know that I want a Captain Cook, but I love Rados. I definitely want to get a Rado. Apple Watch Pro. Not to hate, I just don't like smartwatches. I like mechanical watches, so I wear nothing but mechanical watches. My dream watch is like $250,000. If you want to look it up, you can look it up. My dream watch is the Along & Sona Zeitwerk Grandmaster Chime. That's every watch nerd has a grail watch, a watch that they both want to like see in person and maybe get to try on and own maybe one day. I know that I'll probably never own a Zeitwerk, but that is my holy grail watch. Jacob & Co. brilliant watch pendant, looks fire. Hey dude, if you've got Jacob & Co. tastes, you better start getting rich. I fucking hate Jacob & Co. Well, no, I don't hate them. I think they're beautiful, like, timepieces, but I would never, I think they're gaudy, fucking overpriced, over bejeweled, you know, kind of overly complex, kind of nonsense watches. My dream watch is the Grand Seiko Kodo. Good dream watch. A lot cheaper than my dream watch as well. Thankfully, my favorite watches are relatively inexpensive. They're Soviet Raketa watches. Most are old repaired ones for sale. Cool. That's pretty neat. I like that. I have a Soviet replica pocket watch that I like. Cool. One of the watches I want to get is a Seagull. It's a Chinese field watch with Chinese, like Chinese military design cues, and I think it looks fucking great. I want to get if I can track one down, a real Seagull with like an army green strap like this, like an army green NATO strap. So another one on the list. I don't know, dude. Watches are nerdy as fuck, and really, like, most people don't give a fuck, so I'll probably stop talking about them, but social credit score ++, maybe. I want Alex Jones Rolex. It's beautiful. What does he have? See, there's one Rolex that I like. I like the Rolex Explorer 2 Panda. Black subdials, white face. Black bezel. Beautiful fucking watch, bro. That's my holy grail Rolex. It's the only Rolex that I would spend any kind of money on. That's how I feel about them, but I don't blame you for having your interest hobby. Bro, once I get my watch back from the jeweler, I have a watch that I'm getting a strap on. A new strap put on it. And once I've got that watch back, I bought a little cheap ass watch box for like 15 bucks that holds 6 watches. And when they're all in that box, it looks so fucking cool. It just makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. Like, because my pieces are so... You got money like that? This was a $300 watch. I haven't spent any more than $600 on a watch, and I own 6 watches. I've spent as little as $30 on a watch. That's my Seiko, what's the fucking name? It's a calculator watch. I can't remember the name of it. The Seiko data bank. Thank you. Would you get a jeweled piercing? Dude, I'll be honest with you guys. I was legit thinking about getting my septum re-pierced. I used to have it pierced. I always thought it looked cool on. I always thought it looked good on me, and that was before I was wearing a mustache and beard and shit. I think it would actually look cool. The problem that I have is that I have a CPAP mask that just goes on my nose, and I'm afraid that if I like pierce my fucking nose, it's gonna I'm gonna have to take it out because it interferes with the flow of air into my CPAP. But I was like that close to getting it in Pismo the last time I was there. I just wanted to go in and get popped through, dude. My most expensive watch was $750. It keeps dog shit time. My cheapest watch is a Citizen Eco Drive, and it has lost 1 second in the last month. Yeah. I mean, great watch doesn't necessarily mean spectacular movement or spectacular timekeeping. A lot of watches sacrifice, you know, accuracy for style, even at the high level. One of the reasons I like German watches is because they never do. German watches typically are very, very invested in the accuracy of the movement. I have a bunch of face piercings. I had to stop my CPAP because the piercings kept disrupting the airflow. You can make it work, just takes some configuring. I mean, I figure if I got one of the non-closed, like, I don't remember what they're called, like the horseshoe with the captive balls. If I flip that up, which I used to do anyway, if you flip that up, the balls and the whole fucking rig goes up into your nose. And then it won't be like anywhere near obstructing my CPAP flow. But I'm just wondering if it'll disrupt my airflow or whatever the fuck. Got my fucking nose pierced months ago and passed out. I've had a lot of piercings. I never passed out. The gnarliest piercing that I got was my tongue. The most painful was the labret. This one here, you're kind of sensitive right here at the bottom of this lip. You can still see my labret piercing, see there? All closed up, but still there. Bro looked like that dude from Harry Potter. Hagrid? Hagrid was badass, bro. Hagrid was the greatest. You have a labret as well. Pretty common piercing. I think that like snake bites would look cool on me. I've been thinking about it, man. I want to get some tattoos or some more tattoos. And I was thinking about like which of the piercings that I used to have would I get? Eyebrow. It's kind of gone. Septum. Labret. Tongue. Not gonna do the tongue again. I wore my tongue piercing for a long fucking time, but yeah. So I might get like, you know, a labret or what they call the snake bites here. That'd be kind of cool. I know they would look cool. I've had piercings before. I like the way I look with them. I just, like, which ones do I want? Which ones aren't going to interfere with my CPAP shit, you know. They're cool, but they damage your teeth. See the gap in my middle bottom teeth? Kind of like chip there. Was at a show and a dude was fucking moshing and brought his hand up like this, wasn't even really looking, and knocked my labrae into those teeth and chipped those teeth out. Look up a vertical labrae, it goes through the lip, so like that. So the top of it is on the lip and the bottom of it. That might be kind of cool. Hardcore dancers get thrown out for a reason. Depends on the show. I've taken a few lumps in the pit. You can't be salty about it because you chose to step in the pit. Like if a pit opens up and you don't want to be in it, you put your hands up like this and you start making for the edge, and people will 99% of the time not fuck with you until you get out. If you decide to go in the pit and you get clocked accidentally or stepped on or bumped or kneed or something, I mean, it happens, bro. Would have gotten that done if I had known about it, got my labrae. I'll look into it because I do like the way those look. And I have a full bottom lip, so I think that that would look kind of neat on me. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's just like slowly but surely I was forced to take out my piercings, either due to injury, like the fucking labrae, or just having a job that didn't want me to have piercings, which was way bigger deal back in the day. It's like I had to take all my jewelry out every time I went to Starbucks. If I forgot and left my eyebrow piercing in, I'd get sent home, or not sent home, but like admonished. You know, they didn't allow it. No visible tattoos back when I was working. That's another thing that's changed. It's so dope that, like, at the very least, work culture has changed so that at a lot of these, like, entry-level jobs, you can kind of wear whatever the fuck you want. Aren't there certain types of pits where you shouldn't be throwing punches or kicks, though? I was at, like, a fucking gutter punk show. I don't even remember the name of the band. It was some local band. It was in a seedy club in the Tower District in Fresno. People were throwing shit around. I was throwing shit around a little bit. I chose to go mosh and I got clocked. The guy didn't even mean to do it. He wasn't even looking in my direction when it happened. He was just moshing. I wasn't paying good enough attention. I was too lost in my own turn. And he caught me. Punk, hardcore, slam, yeah, they do hardcore, like, backflip. Some dudes will do backflips. Dudes will be throwing fucking big roundhouse kicks. Literally throwing bows. How was the pain? I thought it was worse. Like, the pain wasn't super bad. It ripped my lip a little bit. It didn't rip it wide open. I was lucky, but it ripped the piercing a little bit. So I bled out of there. And I could taste the grit in my mouth from the chipped tooth, and I was like, fuck, bro, my teeth are broken. I went to the fucking bathroom way at the back of the venue and waited in line with blood dripping down my face and shit, and I wasn't the only one, if you've ever been to one of these fucking places. Where are you from? Central Cali. That's where I'm at now. Watching from New Zealand? Boy, let me ask you a question, New Zealand. How do you feel about this trend of billionaires buying up all your beautiful fucking land there in New Zealand? Because it's like considered to be one of the places you might want to be during the apocalypse. Have you heard about this, or is this even? I assume this has got to be news amongst you Kiwis, because I look at it and I'm just like, man, if I was a fucking born and bred Kiwi, I would be fucking disgusted watching my beautiful fucking country get bought up by fucking rich people. I'm just wondering. I didn't mean to like put you on blast, but I don't, New Zealand, I don't get a whole lot of New Zealanders in here. I do roll call. I'll probably do it in a little bit. We'll see if more people kind of max out in here, but yep, a lot of pissed off Kiwis here, bro. I believe. I do not roll my own cigarettes. Smoking's bad for you? That guy wasn't serious, was he? Nobody's ever told me that. Did you find the pick of destiny yet? No, I did not find the pick. I can't do a Jack Black. Jack Black is just too good. My man. How could I? You got a cool ass vibe? Thank you. Welcome. We're just chilling. We're just chilling in Cedar Rapids. No, I'm chilling. I'm from Fresno. Let's do a roll call, man. Where are you guys from? What state? If you don't want to say the state, what country? You know? Let us know how global this chat is. I'm always blown away by this. Oklahoma, Ireland, Ohio, Philadelphia, upstate New York, Florida, Utah, West Virginia, Arkansas, Olympia, Orlando. A lot of Americans. Auckland, New Zealand. Awesome. Cali, Seattle, Venezuela. I can't read it all. It's going so fast. Saudi Arabia, Nova Scotia, Spain, India, Louisiana, Minnesota, Ohio, Seattle. Dude, look at this shit. And that fucking, does that ever trip you guys out, or is that just something that like younger people are just like, whatever, people? Because like, dude, my fucking little hillbilly ass from the Central Valley, sometimes when I realize like I'm chilling in a room with a bunch of people from everywhere, I'm like, damn. Mungo, Vermont, beautiful. That's always cool to me too. I just want to tell you, please don't smoke. All right, I understand, but you're gonna get banned. Don't tell me what to do, man. The vibe is not. Don't bring down the vibe, man. I'm a grown-ass man. I know the dangers of smoking. I'm gonna do it anyway. Cool? Cool times that we live in. Kinda, yeah, right. I see you're now aware of a second DFF subreddit. Thoughts? I just thought it was funny, dude. I'm not trying to shit on it. I hope they have fun. Like, I've always told people, like, if you don't like it here, go start your own. I got no problem with that. As long as you're not, like, making, like, a fucking server that's distributing our paid content. I'll report you then, but I don't care what else. Like, if you don't like it, go and like, but I just think it's funny. They started another one, and if you read like, why does this subreddit exist? It's like, well, Paul and TJ and Scotty are pretty heavy on the bans, so this is a censorship-free zone where you can say anything you want. And like immediately it was inundated with all of the people that I've banned over and over from the subreddit. Literally like every post is a Paul Wine post. And the dude that owns the server just recently had to put a fucking sticky post up going like, no more Paul posting. And I'm like, how is this different from the fucking DFF server, bro? I think the dude thought he was going to get a bunch of really thoughtful, smart people over there. But the thoughtful, smart people, the few of them that do come to the subreddit, will never get banned because they don't act like retards. What he got was like a flood of complete and utter retards. And now he's having to like deal with the fact that all those people that aren't on the FF subreddit want to do is whine about their ban fucking 6 months ago. It's just like he's eating what he's reaping what he sowed. Maybe Paul wasn't a little heavy on the bans. Maybe Paul was banning just about the right amount of people. You ever think about that? But honestly, I wish no hate. I recommend people make whatever they want about my shit. Make a whole fucking subreddit. Make a subreddit against that second subreddit. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, like, if you can go over there. It's OK Buddy DFF, and the top post is a pinned post from the fucking owner of the server saying, "Hey guys, quit bitching, man. Please do something else." That's all I've been saying too, buddy. That's so weird. I mean, it goes to show you a lot of people have a narrative in their head about what it is that you do. And one of the narratives that is common about me is I ban people, like Hair Trigger. I set up my mods. I tell my mods to ban people. I'll ban people right out of the middle of the show. And it's true. The thing with it is the thing that I ban most, if you really were able to take a look, and I wish you could, I would be totally willing to be opaque about it. If there was a way for me to give you guys a fucking data sheet that showed everybody that I've banned and the comment that I banned them for, what you would find is people trolling or like usually spamming. I don't even really ban people on the face of it for trolling, but like spamming, right? And then I'd say like a good 80% of it is people just straight out whining in a way that like, or yeah, I mean transparent. Yeah, sorry. I want to be opaque about it. Okay, Freudian slip. No, I would share that shit if there was an easy way for me to give you my fucking GTA 5 stats for people that I've banned. You banned me for saying, "Hey, could you ban me?" I mean, I have banned people for that. I noticed it's usually either dumb or no PFP that get banned. Yeah, and the no PFP thing probably has caught some people that didn't deserve a ban, but I think it's pretty smart. Like, one of the hallmarks of a person with multiple accounts who's ban evading is they don't want to take the time to pick out a different picture and make a different thing every time. So they just pick a name and it just gives them the M. Hi, Monica. See? I'm not saying that I want that instituted here, but in the past, you see, that has helped. But people get real salty about it because it circumvents one of their tools, which is multiple easily accessible unbanned accounts under the same main account heading. So they don't even have to create a new Google account. It's just like bloop, bloop, bloop. Kaiser's ban hammer is heavy. Yeah. Dude, there are stupid people that need a ban. I'm sorry, man. That is my fucking shit. GTA 5 stats. You know what I mean? Like when you pause GTA 5 and you go to your like statistics screen and it tells you like how many old ladies you ran over with a motorcycle, how many cats you punted into the sun, how many fucking women you have paid to have sex with and then beaten to death and taken your money back, etc., right? And oof. It gets rough in here around 150 viewers, I think. Once it gets up into the 200s, it's pure bedlam for my poor mods, you know what I mean? Pure fucking bedlam. Yeah, some commenters are dummies, some bans weren't justified. I mean, sure, but you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, man. I'm sorry, yeah, like, do I think every band, would I like gold star stand behind every band I've made? No, I've done, sometimes I'll just get pissed off at a person and be like, you know, fuck this fucking idiot. I'm tired of talking to this idiot, right? That has happened. But I'm just saying the vast majority of the time, it's a dude whining about some shit from fucking 6 months ago or from the old show, from like the show I did 8 years ago, or wants to bring up fucking drama from 10 fucking years ago, or wants to, like, it's just the same shit. You start to notice a pattern when you do what I do. So yeah, I'd say, like, I stand behind my bans. I think that the amount of people that have gotten unjustified bans are hugely dwarfed by the amount of people who are too stupid to interact with my content. That's crazy, is it? I don't know, man. You might conduct your lives different if you could pull 160 viewers any time of the day or night. I conduct mine the way I learned how because I've been doing this for 13 fucking years. And, you know, the golden rule that I've learned over those 13 years of managing chat rooms, managing stream chat, managing this, is that the more you ignore a problem in your chat, the bigger it gets. Dude, if I didn't have a team of mods banning skibbity toilet nonsense posting and shit, this chat would be unreadable for everybody. Legit. Humble flex, Paul. Sorry. Sorry you consider that a flex. Maybe it was, but no lie either. Like, your opinion on Iran as an American. I love the Iranian people, but you will find if you talk to me that I love all people, no matter what race, religion, creed, or national origin. I think that human beings are fucking awesome. And I think that the people of Iran are fucking awesome. And I think that the people of Iran, and I hope you're not offended by this, sir, deserve better than the government that they have. I understand that coming from an American, and the American government has monkeyed around in your country. But I'm not one of those Americans. I don't justify that. I think it was a horrible thing we did to your country. And I hate that some Iranian people are still suffering under a really, really bad totalitarian religious government. And I hope that's not offensive to you. I have no problem with your religion personally. I don't like the way that the Iranian government treats the Iranian people, but I love the Iranian people. We all deserve better than our authorities. I fucking completely agree. Absolutely. Paul, one of the posters on the second DFF said, don't be bringing me like drama from the second I don't care, bro. I popped over there, I pooped a little bit, I made a post, I'm done with it, bro. Had a whole ass fucking thing about it earlier. Nobody cares. Do you think capitalism will never go away because capitalism is the embodiment of survival of the fittest and we are just drawn to that kind of model? No. Capitalism is dying. So we're in late stage capitalism. So the inherent flaws of capitalism, that being the accumulation of wealth, tending to lead to the accumulation of wealth and the privation of the citizenry, right? That major weak point in capitalism is being absolutely hammered right now. with every kind of artillery that the rich and powerful have. And what you're seeing is these capitalistic systems are starting to break down. That's why hospitals are overflowing in America. There's more money being made here than anywhere on the planet, but our hospitals are literal dog shit. You been to one lately? I went to the emergency room with severe stomach pain last year. Ended up being fucking an anxiety attack and high blood pressure shit. They gave me some fucking I was there for 9 hours, bro. It was a nightmare. There was a man there with his mother. I was so mad. Like, it actually, like, the state of that place helped pull me out of the, like, panic attack shit I was going through and helped me to start stabilizing. But it was horrible, man. There was a man there with his little old mother. He looked like he was about my age. His mom looked like she was about 70, 75. His mom was dying. She's at the emergency room to get help. They have her sitting in the waiting room with him. So I noticed him sitting there with her, and he's like holding her basically. And he keeps flagging down the nurses, so I start tuning in on what he's saying to them. And he's saying, any word on the morphine shot for my mother? She's really suffering. And the nurse would say, I'm going to go check on that for you right now. And you'd never see the nurse again. He sat in there. I was there 9 hours. He was there with his little mother, waiting for a dose of medicine so she wasn't in pain, for 7. Richest country in the world, and that's what waits you at the end of your life. Doubled over in pain, being held by your child, if you're lucky, waiting for your fucking morphine dose as you die of stomach cancer. Pretty raw fucking deal. And pretty much the end of the rope for capitalism. They can't really take much more. The reason there's such a bonanza now, and this is going to start getting into conspiracy zone, so don't think I'm Alex Jones or something, but the reason there's such a fucking money-making bonanza right now everywhere you look, big businesses just doubling up, tripling up, fucking Bezos has a yacht for his yacht. No joke. Look it up. They're fucking all shooting themselves off into the fucking stratosphere to look at the Earth because they can afford to build rockets and shit now. It's gotten crazy, right? It's gotten obscene. And I just want you to think about the difference between those men and the average person on this planet. The average person on this planet is way more destitute than pretty much anybody in America. So the stink of this, but here's the conspiracy part of it, okay? I think that these people know that the clock is ticking on capitalism. When I say these people, I mean multinational companies and the politicians that are owned by them. World leaders and fucking billionaires like Bill Gates and Bezos and Musk and all of that shit, right? I don't think there's some secret cabal, but I think these dudes have smart people working for them, at the very least, if they're not smart enough, who know that the writing is on the wall for capitalism. And so it's get it while the getting's good right now, because they know they've pushed it to the brink of collapse, and eventually they're going to push it over. So solidify your position. Buy as much land as you can now when the bonanza is on. Snap up as many small businesses as you can now. The bonanza is on. And I think one of the reasons why it's such a fucking feeding frenzy as the world burns is because they know it's about to end. Now, about to end might not mean tomorrow or next year. It might mean 30 years from now. But I think these guys are prepping for the worst. I think they are trying to solidify their liquid assets into property. And if you look at billionaires specifically for this Q, do yourself a favor, right? I'm not going to give you numbers I can't remember exactly, but I looked this up a while ago. We covered it on the show. I want you to take a look at the amount of land that Jeff Bezos has purchased in the last 5 years. It's stunning. We're talking both for his company, Amazon, and personal asset wise. Look at how much square mileage Bezos owns. Same thing with Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg bought a whole fucking section of, what was it? Was it Molokai? Like a whole section of a Hawaiian island. My assertion is this, and you can call me fucking crazy if you want. Maui, thank you. Call me fucking crazy if you want. My assertion is this. The vultures are circling because the bull market is dead. Nobody wants to admit that, or nobody wants the plebs to find out it's dead. So the general rule is cheerlead, pump it up, brag about it. But the truth is, it's not going to be long before we got the bones picked clean, and we're going to have to fess up to what's going on, and we want to be positioned by that time. Call me crazy. Call me conspiratorial. Call me wrong if you want. I can't prove any of that. They'd like, you know, I'm a fucking nobody from a cow town. They would never let me anywhere near one of those people close enough to be able to corroborate any of that shit. But I think it's happening. Capitalism, the market is dead. It's a zombie ghost. It's being propped up by stock buybacks. It's a big illusion meant to make big people big money and keep people unaware that the game is afoot. They might be able to stretch it another 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know. But I think that the people that have lots of money know it's dead. And I think they're trying to clean that carcass before you get a chance to. They're buying up vast swathes of land, so when then the shit hits the fan, they're the landowner. They've got their bunkers to ride out any societal unrest, and then when the fucking smoke clears, they've got legal title to hundreds of thousands of square miles. I have a question. What do you think about the right-wing brainwashing, specifically about the rich deserving wealth? Look, there's a Steinbeck quote. John Steinbeck was a California author. The Steinbeck quote is, socialism will never take root in America. How does it go? Can somebody find it? I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to butcher it. Socialism will never take root in America. Not because the poor don't need it, but because the poor believe that themselves to be temporarily embarrassed millionaires. What good is land without market forces to make? Bro, if I'm not even talking, I think it's going to be like a controlled collapse situation. I think 2008 was kind of like a fucking bellwether for it. And they saw like, oh, we can print a bunch of money and just give it to these corporations, and just like $1 trillion of debt that we racked up gets erased. Cool. So I think that's the template. And part of that template is letting the economy crash and letting like fucking normal people like me and you lose everything they own in that crash. And then the rich get bailed out. Their companies get bailed out and saved. Their debt gets wiped out, and they still own all the land. Socialism will never take root in America because the poor see themselves not as an exploited proletariat, but as temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Thank you, Detective Rogers. I appreciate somebody taking the time to look that up for me. I did not want to butcher that quote. So will the collapse be felt in another Great Depression? Yeah. So, I mean, look at the Dust Bowl, right? That was, during the Great Depression and during an unprecedented time of climate collapse in the Midwest and in the East. And people were scrambling, dying in dust storms that went on for days. And a lot of them came west to California. The Dust Bowl is starting again, guys. There's like tens of millions of people that live in those areas that didn't live there in the early 1900s when the Dust Bowl happened. So it's going to be worse. Yeah, well, the reason the Dust Bowl happened in the first place was in large part due to over-farming. Too much loose topsoil. Prevailing winds shifted and whipped it all up into a fucking frenzy, and it just kept going, and it was just a dust cloud that hung all over everything. Yeah, we're already worse off than the Great Depression. We're already worse off than pre-Workers' Revolution, like the Gilded Age. You ever hear about that time in American history? Right after the Civil War, business was booming, right? War makes a bonanza because after war, people come home, they want to make babies, they want to expand, they want to make money, they want to spend money. And there was a bonanza, and it was after the Civil War that the robber barons emerged. Names like Carnegie, Jay Gould, Rockefeller, right? Not all at once, but these names started to pop up over the decades, right? And they were just like, wow, you know what sucks? Like, you've seen the movie There Will Be Blood, right? Dude finds this bonanza oil strike, but then the shipping companies want to charge him an arm and a leg to move the oil and get a huge chunk of his profits. So the dude just buys up a bunch of land and builds a pipeline all the way to the ocean so that he doesn't have to pay any shipping cost whatsoever. That's what we're looking at here, right? It's the same thing happening now. Hoover houses are all over the places. Hoover houses, for those of you who don't know, are named after President J. Edgar Hoover, who presided over the horrible, horrible poverty that happened after the economic collapse and the Great Depression. Hoover houses, dude. They're lean-tos, shanties, and shacks built by people with nowhere else to live because they have no economic base to stand on. Or sorry, not J. Edgar Hoover, Herbert. My bad. I get them mixed up. I'm sorry. There's two Hoovers. Listen. Okay? Skibbity bop, bop bop, yes, yes, okay? I had the last name right. Don't disrespect your elders in here, okay? As you are, so I was. As I am, so you will be. Remember that, you little whippers and snappers.
It's finally in the oven.
Sweet. Thank you, baby. Your lasagna is the cat's pajamas. It really is. It's Cricket's pajamas.
We'll see.
Skibbity, 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 bop, bop, bop. Yes, yes. Can you make me lasagna too? No, I can't. But I tell you what I will do. One of the bites I take tonight will be you. I'll think about you when I take it. I'll take a bite for you, okay? I wonder what will replace this failed system. Well, like I said, my belief is that the rich, the billionaires, the company owners, they are already preparing for that eventuality. And if we allow them to maintain their stranglehold on power all the way through the coming collapse, if we don't make a move like now, then they're just going to institute techno-feudalism when they come back. They're going to go like, look, we tried democracy, but you saw how corrupt and inefficient it was. You know what I mean? They're going to take advantage of the desperation to get people all hyped up on prosperity gospel shit. And that's going to be it, bro. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going to replace it if we allow that to happen is people. Now, if we're sitting at the steering wheel when the collapse happens, there's a chance that maybe we can like learn from the mistakes we've made and create something like a functional government, like for the people, of the people and by the people. But the way it stands right now, we've got a two-tiered justice system. We've got a two-tiered economic system. We've got a two-tiered medical system. And when I say two-tiered, I mean billionaires and you. You get what we called down in the country hind tit. That means you get a little bit of titty, but you get the one that's closest to the pig's asshole. You know who gets prime titty? Never you. Never ever you. Feudal? Oh, bro, you better start thinking outside of the box. Let me tell you something. The little tiny connective tissue that is democracy and a Republican democracy, not Republican the party, Republican in terms of the Roman politics that inspired our democracy, right? The tiny little bit of sinew that's left, they hate it. Why do you think there's only a tiny bit left? Because they've been chopping away at it every fucking day since the day this country was founded. And they're about to decouple it from the corpse. And do you think they're going to replace it by giving you choice again? Why the fuck would they do that? So now everything's collapsed. Millions have died. They own all the land. They own all the titles. Why would they go immediately empower those people out there that are suffering, but let them do as they wish to us? No. They're going to go like, fuck, glad that democracy collapsed. Let's install a king. Or let's install a corporatocracy where there's one fucking national corporation that subsidizes all the other corporations. And thus the CEOs of that are now your nobles. And you get whatever scraps they throw you for working in their ever more dystopian factories. We're careening towards the Warhammer universe. Just not cool. It's going to be the Warhammer universe with no travel, we can't escape Earth, and no super soldiers and demons. But you know the Hive City? You might want to read about Warhammer 40K Hive cities. You've convinced me and also scared me. You should be scared. Dude, the chessboard is not looking good, and there's one chess piece. We've got the queen. I think we got a queen and a pawn left, and they've got pretty much a full board. Now, is it impossible to win in that situation and still protect your king? Theoretically, no. But in my opinion, we've got to send the queen in there for the checkmate before the collapse happens, because if they are allowed to own everything around you, when the collapse happens, who do you think's going to be ruling over you after the collapse if you happen to survive it? It's okay, I'm a temporarily embarrassed rogue trader. Me too, man. Me too. Lord Paulus Zegois, servant of the Emperor, rogue trader. Already got the gulags. There was recently a giant report in the New York Times about them. It was buried in this little article, and I'm shocked it broke as national news. But buried in this little article with no headline space, and really no deference given to it other than, well, I guess we're going to mention this, are the testimonies of Palestinian prisoners who have been let go, who tell stories of having hot pokers put up their butts, being forced to sit drenched on electric seats that shock them all over their bodies. The gulags exist. America set one up called Abu Ghraib temporarily in Iraq while we were doing all that bullshit butchery over there. And they literally just took Muslim men off the streets for no reason and tortured them in there. There's a place called Guantanamo Bay. It's in an American armistice zone on the tip of Cuba. It is one of the most secure prison complexes in the world, and it's filled with people who have not been given habeas corpus, who have not been allowed to face their accusers, and in fact, most have not been charged with any crime, and they're tortured in there. So the gulags already exist. They've got those set up. They've copped to what they call CIA black sites in different countries that have non-extradition treaties with America and fucking owe us money and shit. They've copped to what they call CIA black sites where they take people to torture them for months. Prison work camps. So you know how prisons work, right? I don't even have to talk about it. The American prison system is just legalized slavery under another name. There's not a lot worth saving left on the carcass, and what is being picked at by big old vultures. And we're a flock of sparrows all pecking at the ground looking for a little tidbit right now. Like, the only way we're going to drive them off is all 100 million or more of them sparrows gets together and, like, as a group, drives those vultures away from the carcass. Takes down as many of them as we can, and then we get to decide how to carve up what's left and how to replace what collapsed, right? That seems to me like our only hope, guys. Yeah, I mean, the great white hope of technology is always lingering. I mean, it's pulled humanity out of the fire in the past. Who's to say it won't this time? Who's to say when things are darkest, a fucking unifying AI won't happen and we have the singularity and all of the sudden, you know, there is no reason to be a billionaire anymore because technology has availed you of everything that luxury could. And everything that money ever could becomes worthless, and it's just a fucking beautiful utopia, and we start healing this planet and bringing back some of these species we've killed and repopulating and reforesting and recreating green areas on this planet and mending what we've done and learning from our mistakes. Oh my God, dude, my heart sings for that. My heart sings for that. It really does. But I'm a pessimist, bro. People usually act in their self-interest when given the opportunity. That ain't happening? Yeah, well, thanks for filling us in. Billions would die. Billions are going to die anyway. If billions die so that billions can thrive in the future, I think that's a pretty fucking fair trade given humanity's fucking past. Yeah, dude. I'm not saying I want to be the one to kill them. I'm just saying if this whole collapse thing leads to a sea change and a revolution in AI technology and we turn over our government to it, and it burns out the cancer over the next few generations and restores us as a people, I'll be dead. But were that to happen, it'd be beautiful. But it would require the people to stop bickering at each other and worshiping rich men with dumps in their pants and start working together. Start looking at your neighbors as your family, and start looking at the people that own companies and the politicians that are in their pockets as your enemy. Because that's just the truth. You know, it's nice to fantasize about that utopia, but the truth is all the metrics are heading the opposite way of the utopia. And it seems to me right now, and maybe I'm just being dismal about it, I don't feel like people are at the point yet where they're desperate enough yet where they're going to start looking at their neighbors as anything other than foes. I don't think it looks like the country is ready to stop this red versus blue football game we've all been snowing ourselves with as they stole all the money out the back door. You know what I mean? This bullshit shit. Now it's like it's literally gotten, this is the most absurd election of all time. The lesser of two evils argument has shrunk to such an absurd degree that it's almost not worth making, in my opinion, anymore, and it's certainly not worth abiding by. It's literally two octogenarian old men with dumps in their pants who are anti-immigrant and pro-genocide. Pick your poison. Literally, they're both poison. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a little plain-spoken by nature. I mean, I got a decent vocabulary because I've read books here and there, but I learned to be a plain-spoken person, and like, I don't know how to say it any other way. It's like I'm talking to workers, right? If you're a fucking millionaire or a trust fund baby, may as well tune out. Unless you want to listen to what we're thinking about, then stay tuned. But I'm talking to the people in here that are workers or the children of workers. You know? People that might come across this later that are workers. I don't know how to talk like a fucking politician. I can barely not cuss. You hear me. I'm a fucking mess. I'm a sailor. I'm much better as a union organizer than anything in the world, probably, in the end of the world. That being said, you know, I try and make this plain fucking argument as often as people like allow me to. It comes up a lot. I feel like those who are aware and know better to what they are doing will make it even to the eternal lifetime. Well, my guy, I am totally cool with you believing what you believe and focusing all of your hope on a life that might not exist. But I kind of believe that the Jesus of the Bible would want us to create heaven right here. Certainly if we acted like him, heaven would already be here. If we didn't hoard our wealth, if we didn't covet our neighbor's goods, if we didn't let fucking capitalists into the temple to run rampant. Yeah, if we acted like Jesus, this might be a little slice of heaven now, and I think it's an attainable heaven, but maybe not within the confines of your religion, sir. I'm a labor advocate. You want to know what my religion is? A working man is entitled to a living wage and a place to live, food on this family's table. When I say working man, that's an anachronism. I mean working person, okay? I don't care what your gender is. A working person is entitled to the fruit of their labor. They're entitled to a slice of it, and a damn good slice of it besides. They build what makes this country hum. That's my religion. My religion is empowering the meek. Jesus might agree with that. Empowering the least among us. Wasn't it Jesus that said, the least among you shall be first, and the first shall be last? I'm not a Christian. Like I told you, if I've got anything like a religion that I fucking preach about, it's labor. Further we go with technology, the less power the proletariat has to affect change. Yeah. Which is why you hear me out here beating the drum of like, now or never, now or never, now or never, now or never, dong, 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 dong. Don't let your Stella get all sweaty and hot out here, baby.
Yeah.
Don't babysit that little Stella. Sorry. Didn't mean to police you. I just forget sometimes when I crack a beer. You should try shrooms, bro. You don't know who you're talking to, bro. Right? The assumption, some people, like, you can't look at me and know that I've got like 17% psilocybin in my bloodstream all the time. You can't tell. You can't tell that I've been doing mushrooms since before your dad popped his mushroom into your mother and made you. I'm well experienced with psychedelics. Cheers. It's comic book guy IRL. Yep. Worst comment ever. Listen, I've been on the internet for a very long time, and I know bad comments, and that, sir, was the worst comment ever. Ever. Have you seen the new? No, please stop asking me about this fucking Eminem song. I listened to a blurb from it, and it sounds like ass, and not nice ass, not big bobbly butt cheeks, all glistening and wet and oily, but like butthole, like the ass end of Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Sounds like ass, bro. Ass. I hate nostalgia. Dude, the worst thing an artist can do, in my mind, is like, let's say that, like, all right, here's an old ass fucking rocker, right? What's his name again? Fucking the yellow-breasted warbler guy. Fucking right-wing idiot. Ted Nugent. Was it Ted Nugent that did Cat Scratch Fever? Whoever it was, let's just say it was. I don't think it was now that I think about it. Who did Cat Scratch Fever? Cat Scratch Fever. Okay, cool. So I'm remembering the right guy, right? So that song, shitty song, by the way. It's like a really repetitive, pretty bad rock song, right? Okay. Ted Nugent does that song back in whenever he fucking did it, 1982 or something. Cat Scratch. It's literally like the first song everybody that thinks they want to play guitar learns. Like you'll hear like kids playing it. It's like whatever. It's a shitty song. Easy song, simple song. Some people like it. It just whatever. Okay. Don't get lost in the sauce. Let's say Ted Nugent now. So it's been like 40 years since Ted Nugent was really relevant as a musician. He still tours and old fogies go see him, right? Let's say Ted Nugent now. Ted Nugent is probably 70 something. Comes out with Instagram and he's like, hey there, Gen Z. What's litty? It's me, hitting the gritty, doing the dab. Ted Nugent. And I just wanted to thank you for checking out my new song. It's dope to have the fever. All right. Thank you. You remember the cat scratch fever. You remember the Justin Bieber. You remember what it was like when your grandpa said, son, settle down. Right? I kind of feel like that's what Eminem has done, and I don't want to talk about it. Okay? I still have a lingering respect for Marshall Mathers, so I didn't want to use him as the example. So I used Ted Nugent, who I have no respect for. But you can apply that same concept to what I think about it, and I don't want to, that's why I don't want to talk about it. I thought the lenses of the glasses were darker. These are my computer glasses. I don't even want to tell the story because I don't want to get into it, bro. My other glasses got damaged, not by me, but by the dude that was supposed to fix them for me at the optometrist. They made it right, but my fucking lazy ass cannot get, I just have not felt like going to go pick them up. But I do need to go get them. So those are the glasses that you'll probably see me in more often, and unless I'm on the show. When I'm out here, those have transitions lenses and all the fucking polarization. These aren't even really supposed to be for outside use. I'm just using them because I can't read shit without glasses. These are my computer glasses. And I think tomorrow, whether I feel like it or not, I am going to waddle my big dumpy ass into the optometrist office and get my fucking glasses that they fucked up.
I would do it for you, but I don't have your head, so I can't fit them for you.
Yeah, no, I know. And I want to go down there. I want to make sure that they fucking fit me too. So I gotta go get them. I'm gonna go get them fucking tomorrow. Ever fuck with contacts? No, never would. I read a story when I was like in my 20s about an old woman. She's like 90. She went into the hospital claiming of like eye pain and like pressure in her eyes. The doctor started giving her an examination, and they like looked behind her eye through her retina or whatever, and they saw something in there, and they went in there, and she had like 20 pairs or 25 pairs, or like, I think it was way more than that, of like disposable contact lenses that she had just had slipped off in her sleep and rolled behind her eye. No, dude, I would be fucking, no. Dude, I'd rather just wear glasses, bro. I look nice in glasses. I've got a good glasses face, so fuck that. I'll just get old and I'll be an old guy with glasses. If you guys want to come up with some cool shit that like plugs in here, like Geordie LaForge's visor or some shit, I'll wear that. But until y'all come up with that, I'm just gonna wear glasses. Thank you very much.
You ain't laser in your eyes neither.
LASIK? Fuck. To the hell no. Oh, it's all safe, Paul. I don't care, bro. Go, you know what? Go watch a LASIK thing. They're on YouTube. Go look at like LASIK surgery training for surgeon or whatever the fuck. And look at what they do to your fucking eyeball. And think about what would happen if that dude was like, and cutting. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh no, God. Okay, let's sew it up. I show up with you guys like, well, I got LASIK. I'm wearing a pirate eye patch. I don't have depth perception anymore, but this eye sees better than ever. No thanks, bro. No thanks. I straight up tried to tell both, and you can ask them, both TJ and Scotty. I was like, why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing this? Don't do this. I was like, they're going to put a fucking laser in your eye, and they cut it open. They suck the fucking lens out, and they do something. They laser your lens, and then they put the lens in, and they fucking... I was like, dude, they'll tell you it's safe. They'll tell you they've done millions. Bro. I even tried to appeal to their vanity. I was being mean, but it was kind of true at the time. I was like, dude, I've seen both of you with your glasses off. You look weird. You look weird as fuck. Don't do it. And they were like, nah, All right, well, you know, I guess we'll see if you're right, Paul.
TJ ended up putting on the fake glasses.
Dude, imagine that. He had it was almost like a phantom limb thing.
Yeah.
Where he didn't even feel right because the glasses weren't on. See, I'm not at that point. I've never had glasses in my life, but now that I need them, they're comfortable as fuck for me. You see them, I take them on and off a lot, but I'm
You're
learning.
sweating.
Well, I'm not. I'm actually not. I just have learned to take them on and off for some reason. Sometimes I am sweating, and that's why I want them off my face, but right now it's actually kind of nice out here. Dude, I was telling him, this tree right here, you see all these little buds?
Yep.
In about 4 or 5 days max, this is gonna be bee central right here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice though. They ain't gonna bother us, but I think TJ looks fine without them, and Scotty looks a little off. I've gotten used to seeing both of them without glasses. I didn't mean that when I said it. I just remember I was trying to talk them out of it. Please, guys. Don't let them laser into your eyes.
You didn't want your bosses to be blind.
Don't be blinded.
Seems like one of the more common, issues with it is, weird artifacts in your vision.
I wouldn't know, because I would never get it done. That's my personal fucking stance on it, you know? I also just started having, and when I say just, I mean in the last, 6 or 7 years, noticeable vision loss problems. So I had really good eyes for most of my life. It's very easy to say that if you've had 20/10 vision for most of your life. I still have 20/10 vision. I just have age-related degeneration of my shit. It's dark, but how? Hey Paul, if you come to the next DFF meetup, can I hug you? I give out hugs there, but I never initiate them because I never want to make people feel uncomfortable. But people walk up to me all the time, do the international symbol for a hug, and I bring it in. And look, I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm a pretty good hugger. I've been told I give a nice, warm, friendly hug. And I smell good too. Usually.
Yeah. You got the not potent sweat.
Yeah.
You got the mild sweat.
I got a little musk, but I also wear really nice cologne and stuff, and I shower regularly, and I wear nice clean clothes, so it doesn't really matter. I just don't do fucking deodorant because it makes my armpits break out worse than they do normally.
Well, deodorant doesn't stop you sweating either. It's
I definitely don't do those. Those kill me. Is TJ still married? Yes. Unless something happened today I didn't hear about, yes. Paul seems like the kind of fat guy who is very aware of their bodily smells. I am. I'm not saying I never fucking stink a little bit, dude. If I fucking forgo a shower for a day or something, and it happens. 2 days, right? 3 days. Dude, I'm not smelling great, but I'm also not putting myself in the firing line of anybody usually but my wife. And I told her, if I ever reek, just point at the fucking shower. But typically it's not a thing for her. When I'm really depressed, I might lay up and fucking sleep all day and feel like I don't have to shower. But if I'm feeling good like I am now, I'm showering all the fucking time. How is it not dark there? Because I'm in California. It's the last place on the planet Earth the sun sets. No, I'm kidding. That makes no sense. But
isn't it somewhere in Alaska?
It is, yeah.
Or in that latitude?
It's in the northern hemisphere somewhere due to the axial tilt. I'm in Texas. It's 10 p.m. here. Yeah, it's only 8:30 here in sunny California.
It's setting, but it ain't set.
The sun is setting, but has not yet set.
shit.
This guy is Duty, Dookie, Poopy, Biden diaper, Trump diaper brown.
We got not great air quality today. Lost our good air quality.
That's why I told her, I said, I don't think I'm going to be doing these fucking phone streams outside tomorrow. Because it's going to be 105 degrees and the AQI is going to be fucking nasty. And I'm going to be doing good just to not be fucking getting allergy attacks and stuff indoors. Because we live in a fucking shitty, unsealed house of nightmares. But not for long. Soon, I will take my beautiful wife. I will take my beloved fur babies. I will scoop them up in my loving and protective embrace, and I will move them to a private island. No, we are moving out of this fucking valley. And maybe out of this region of the planet. Da-da-da-dun-da-da. I don't know, man. Oof. Want to do a stretch?
Yeah, I'll do a stretch with you.
It's time for my midday/evening stretch. Hoo-ha. Huh?
Yeah, stop that. A little bit too hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Heard a crack in my neck that wasn't accompanied with relief, so I think I
Oh.
was pushing it too hard.
Yeah. I've been working on my neck for forever.
I gotta take it easy with it. Can't be pushing it that fat.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You can do little micro movements with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do exactly how I'm doing.
Yeah.
It has taken me every bit of that 6 months to be able to roll my head.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I used to do before theater in high school.
Yeah.
So is the rolling forward.
Yeah.
The vision of unstacking your vertebrae one by one. What the fuck?
You were doing yoga.
Yeah, I was doing yoga. I want to get a setup out here where I can like have maybe a stand to put you guys on. So, because you guys get real curious about yoga, and I realize sometimes it might sound like I'm just like over there pleasuring myself. I am, just with stretching my body, which is horribly misused for a lot of my life. And so I'm undoing, or trying to undo, or at least loosen up and get stronger around some of the damage. So I do yoga 3 times a day. You're gooning over there. If you go back and watch, there's one of these where Amelia filmed me do my whole thing because people wanted to see it. I just don't want to, like, I have to do it when I'm out here at certain points. And when my back starts to hurt and my feet start to hurt, I get up and I do it. It's a good thing to do. I hate to be like a Twitch streamer or whatever, but like when I get up and do that and you're watching along, it might be good if you can to get up and do the same. Like you don't have to do yoga, but like stretch your legs, go get like a drink, go take a pee, you know, do some neck rolls a little bit. Because that's what I do when I get up, you know. Oh, yeah, sorry, honey. Just on the other side of the box here. Get you your phone as well. There you go. Where's your otter box at? Is it
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow? All right. I have faith in that little phone. It will survive. Oh, okay. Come on. Come out here with us. So I just saw. This show is on a 20-minute timer. Maybe a 30-minute timer.
Yeah,
It
because
has
you
to
want
like
to let it cool.
has
Actually,
to-
probably closer to 40 minutes because I want to add cheese on the top and do
another
10
bake.
minutes. Yeah.
So probably closer to an hour then, if we want to let it
40.
cool enough to eat
Yeah.
and have it not be lava.
Yeah.
Never mind, we're good.
40 minutes.
I saw 20 minutes on the thing and I was like, but I'm thinking you pull the lasagna right out of the hot oven and just dig in. Hell no, you don't.
Not with a lasagna.
No,
like
you
that.
gotta
This
let
is
your
a
fucking-
fat lasagna.
You gotta
homemade
let your
sauce.
yeah, homemade sauce, multiple layers, veggies in there. What time is it where you are? It's 8:35 p.m. on the West Coast. The beautiful West Coast. West Coast, Best Coast, etc., 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 etc.
Sorry.
Would you consider getting Kyle on for the election? I feel like Kyle and Crystal will probably be doing their own thing, big, giant electoral show. Here's what I understand after covering elections to varying degrees of success for, I don't know, like at least, I mean, since 2016.
Yeah, so 2 major cycles.
So 2 full cycles. I can say this. If you're a streamer and you want to do a big election stream, what you ought to be doing is trying to make yourself part of somebody's rotation. Rather than hoping to get just a couple of viewers, what you need to do is spice up your shit so that people that get bored during the Chanks every half hour pitch party for fucking Young Turks, they come off of Chank's show and start looking at other election coverage. And if you're in one of those and you happen to have a good thing, some of those people might not go back to Chank. So that's the best you can do, right? You're like in a giant pond of really hungry fish, and you can compete right there at the surface, or you can kind of swim down below and do your own thing and wait for your opportunity. So you ought to be trying to snag, like, like I'm watching other streamers when we do this.
What if you did a shot for every state that flips?
Fuck no, I will not. I don't do drinking stunts no more.
Yeah.
But you saw the last one.
Yeah. Well, one of you could. Do you think TJ would be down to do a shot for every state that
I don't want to deal with drunk ass fucking. He's gonna drink anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with drunk ass TJ, drunk ass Scotty, and then I'm just sitting there stoned. Like, can we look at the map or something? That doesn't sound fun, but whatever. They can do whatever they want. I'm gonna be smoking, joking, toking, choking, and poking at these electoral results as they come in. We will be basing most of our coverage around the granite rock, bedrock center stone of the Cenk-Uyghur Sweat Index, developed entirely by the team at Deep Fat Fried. It has predicted 2 elections since its inception. And it is my contention that it will indeed be an early predictor in this. The sweatier Cenk gets, the closer the race is, the worse the Democrats are doing. The drier Cenk is, the better the Democrats are doing. Okay? This is an empirical political tool. You can't argue with it. Go look at Cenk in 2016. The dude was schwitzing. It was like it was 122 degrees in the Young Turks studio. He was pouring, dumping. 2020, a little misty at times before the numbers started to roll in. A little bit worried, maybe a little bead or two, but never schwitzing. Democrats win. Just saying. The Cenk-Uyghur Sweat Index, we will be following it all night. I happen to be, and you guys don't know this about me because I don't brag about it a lot, but I happen to be an internationally recognized Schwet expert. I'm a fan of sweatiness in film. I'm a fan of sweatiness in real life. And I've been observing the sweaty for way longer than most people have even noticed sweat as a thing.
You've done an entire episode on Schwet?
Yeah. I'm a studied scholar of sweat. And so I'm the main interpreter of the beads upon the brow. But my other 2 guys, no slouches, right? My co-hosts, my fellow business owners, no slouches. They've got just as much under their belt as me. And they've got a different perspective on the sweat index. But I'm telling you, we will know before we know. Cenk-Uygur's forehead will tell the tale. How do you measure the sweat? The only way that we can. Would that Cenk would let us come and dab his brow and measure the moisture content.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I would be very quiet. I would run a very quiet stream backstage. I would run on every once in a while and dab his brow and upper lip.
Or do it with one of those grabber
nose.
sticks.
I could even do that, yeah.
Just like...
But he has to be willing to let me take that, and instead of throw it away, I weigh it, right? So I've put it on a little microgram scale. I know what it weighs before I dab the sweat. I know how much sweat we're dealing with. I would love that. But unfortunately, Cenk-Uyghur has not gotten back to me on my many attempts to offer the sweat index on the Turks. So I have to do what I have to do. Visually, emotionally, spiritually connect with Cenk. the great brown buffalo. I have to close my eyes and imagine the people that roamed the plains where I live, hunting tatanka. I have to dab my own brow, measure my own sympathy sweats. Do you understand? This is science.
Speaking of sweat, there was a hella crazy sweat scene in that Three Body.
Dude, Three Body is sweaty as fuck, and I'm loving it. Loving it.
Not Netflix Three Body. Chinese Peacock Three Body.
We started watching the Chinese Three Body, and I am absurdly blown away by how fucking good it is and how much better it is than the Netflix special, which I really liked. I really liked and really enjoyed the Netflix special. I am floored by Three Body, the Chinese 31-hour episodes covering one book in the trilogy. I think I'm dying, lol. Well, so long and thanks for all the fish. Someone say Three Body? That was me. That was me, buddy. Single shot rifles and had to grind it out. What? What'd you say, homie? As in Three Body Problem, yes. The Netflix series, I've read the books. I read the books before there was a series. I've seen the Netflix series. I am currently on episode 5 or 6 of the Chinese Three Body series. It's called Three Body. The Chinese like to make long sagas of shows. Well, I've got to tell you, I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm still watching. But I'm planning on doing like a Cinema for Cynics on this if if things work out. I want to do like a comparison between the American Three Body Problem Netflix series and the changes that they made and the almost utter lack of changes in the Chinese series. Dude, one of the episodes I watch, and a lot of you are going to roll your eyes at this and go like, oh, that's not for me. One of the episodes that I watched, because an entire chapter in the book is devoted to it, was literally devoted to a man slowly becoming filled with undeniable dread and having a mental breakdown. Complete with the dizzy camera and the weird sound effects and the hallucinations and shit. And it was literally like a 50-minute episode. No, that's not on Netflix. You have to get Peacock for it. It's weird. It's buried in a weird one. But I was interested enough by what I saw in like some clips to check it out. And boy, am I not disappointed. It is literally so... Now, I don't know. I almost feel like I'm getting to the point where if we don't start hearing about Yao Wenxia's kind of like how she came to betray the human race, I think that there might be a chance that in the Chinese Three Body show that I'm watching, that they kind of like stuff Yao Wenxia as a counter-revolutionary under the bridge. But maybe they don't. I don't know. All of the good shows are stratified. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. That's the way it is. I just have one or two at a time. Like, I had HBO Max for a long time, and we literally just got sick of it. We watched The Sopranos again a couple of years ago, and then fucking The Wire, and we just got to the end of the rope. We couldn't find anything we wanted, so I canceled that. We got Netflix. Now we've had Netflix for a while, and there was a deal on Peacock, so I got like 6 months for a low price. So I've wanted to see this Chinese Three Body and give it a shot. I thought it was probably going to be schlock and shit. but it's actually the opposite. It's actually way fucking closer to the book in terms of tone, and way more faithful to the book than the American version is. You know, one thing I will talk about is one of the things that makes The Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu such an amazing series of books is for me at least, I'm not trying to say for everybody, but for me, they are books written from almost entirely a completely Chinese perspective. As an American sci-fi novel might be rife with Americanisms and American military kind of lingo and American corporate kind of culture, this book is firmly centered in China. It doesn't ignore the rest of the world, but the principal characters in this book are Chinese people. And that is really important to the story, because The Three Body Problem is both a brilliant original sci-fi work and is also a very clever retelling of the People's Revolution in China. So it's a brilliant masterwork of a book. Pushes a boundary in science fiction that had yet to even be touched in a meaningful way by an author, certainly not to the extent, and also was so fun to read because it is written from a perspective that is very foreign to me. A whole different cultural outlook, right? Not right, not wrong, just different from the one that I live in. And it made the book beautiful and sad and interesting and strange to me, right? And it elucidated me about China in a way that I don't think any other work has. So now these movies or these shows come along, right? And Netflix, and I hate to be one of those dudes, I'm not bitching about it, but Netflix decides we're going to gender swap and nation swap all of these characters around. All of these Chinese people are now going to be, there's going to be a Chinese person, but then there's also going to be a bunch of Brits, mostly Brits, and European people. And in the case of this show, especially seeing the Netflix show in the light of this Chinese show, the Netflix show suffered from that strange recasting and renationalizing. I don't know why they did it. There's a whole gender swap of a couple of characters in the Netflix show. Didn't bother me at the time, but looking at it in the shadow of this Chinese show, I'm like, and then obviously that rekindles my interest in these books that I read last year, right? And I'm like, whoa. One of these shows is almost overly committed to being directly from the book and to visualizing that book. I mean, it's creepy how good, well, number one, it's creepy how good Cixin Liu is about setting a scene, and it's creepy how good this Chinese company, or this conglomerate of Chinese national companies, have made this movie, or this show. 30 episodes, at least 45 minutes, some of them pushing an hour, for one book. And everything that I've read says that they're pretty close to being done with the second season, which is going to be The Dark Forest, which is the second book in the cycle. Don't add other people in my chat. You might be new here. It's okay. I don't want them banned, but I'm just going to give a warning. It's very confusing for this type of a show if you're having a side conversation, because I get everything that I interact with from you guys. And if you're having a whole ass side conversation about another show, it can't go on. So if you guys exchange anything between each other, please exchange like Twitter handles or whatever you want, Zitter shit or Facebooks or whatever, Discord, and you guys can take it to DMs, okay? I wish there was a way you could do it here on YouTube. I'd just tell you to take it to DMs. It's a little harder than that. I don't mind if you add each other to exchange your information, but only do it once. Did you do that podcast with TJ Kirk? I still do, yeah. I mean, I asked several questions and you didn't respond. I literally can't read everyone, dude. There's 140 people in here. Not that long ago, there was 180. It goes pretty fast, and if I read every goddamn thing, that's all I would do. I'm sorry, I wasn't dodging you, but you need to kind of like, you have to repeat yourself. You have my attention now, Marvel Marcus. So if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. We call this, you might be new here, like I said, this is called the Eye of Sauron. So I've now noticed you above the rest of the chat, and I'm waiting to have a conversation with you. What questions did I miss? What's the best one that you want to hear me answer? What is your live about? Whatever we want to talk about. I interact with you guys, the chat, the people that stop by and say hi. I was wondering what your opinion is on the possibility of extraterrestrial life currently interacting with the Earth. Okay, fair enough. I would never dodge a question like that. I don't know. And that's like the honest answer, right? I think that we are either being observed and passively interacted with by a very highly technological species who maybe is driven by something like the United Federation of Planets Prime Directive in Star Trek. Like, do not interfere with a species until they attain starflight on their own and then welcome them in. You know, maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's more of an experiment. Maybe we are part them. Maybe they seeded this planet with life and are viewing it. I think it's either that, or I think we are just in a little area of the galaxy that might be a little dry on life, and that the abundance, we might be kind of protected from the abundance in this little spiral arm of a little galaxy, and that in other galaxies, or maybe even in other parts deeper in our own galaxy, there might be horrible warfare and crazy predators flying from star to star looking for planets, and they just haven't gotten to us yet. That's kind of the three-body problem. One of the premises it introduces is the idea of the reason why we don't hear or see a bunch of civilizations is because of a theory called the dark jungle. The dark jungle is this, all right? So let me explain some concepts to you real quick. One of the ways that scientists allot for the fact that mathematically they feel like there must be millions, if not billions, of sentient species in the galaxy, in the universe, right? But why we can't see them, haven't been contacted by them yet. And so there comes this concept called the Great Filter, right? There is some technology that every species eventually develops that ends them before they attain the ability to contact other species and travel between stars. So we're talking about like nuclear power. A lot of people say that the Great Filter is nuclear power. A lot of people are now saying that the Great Filter might be unrestrained, unrestricted AI, right? Maybe it's something else that we're on the cusp of discovering, or maybe it's something else we might not discover for another 1,000 years. But the concept is the reason why our local sector of our little spiral galaxy isn't teeming with life is because what life did exist long ago maybe ceased to exist because they'd studied deep enough into the fundamental laws of nature and found some power there that destroyed them as they tried to use it. And people have extrapolated on the Great Filter theory, and the dark jungle hypothesis is an extrapolation of the Great Filter that says that what if the reason it's so silent in the galaxy is because there are one or multiple predatory species who are intensely listening for signs of a world teeming with life so that they can come here and consume the biomass of it and then go back into hiding and start listening for another civilization? What if the great filter is we're living in a horrifyingly dark jungle that might be teeming with predators, some of which might be streaming towards us at just sublight speed, even as I speak to you? You know, the first broadcast into space happened in, like, what was it, the late 20s? Wasn't it like a Hitler speech or some shit? You look like a very nice guy that's a lumberjack and cooks food for his lovely family. Thanks. I do like this theory, but assuming evolution is the case across the universe, we know that evolution doesn't necessarily trend towards intelligence. Sure, but even if it doesn't, right? The abundance of Earth-like planets extrapolated by all of the fucking data models that astrophysicists and like astronomers and all of these people that study heavenly bodies and study the planets and the galaxies and the universe and shit, like, all of those models a lot for that. And, you know, the great filter is this, well, you know, if it is teeming, even if it's not as teeming with intelligent life as we think, there's still theoretically millions upon millions of sentient species in just our galaxy, let alone the universe with its billions of galaxies, trillions of galaxies, I believe. So mathematically, a very small number of life might ever be intelligent, but due to the sheer abundance of stars and planets that there are among those trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies, the place should be relatively teeming with life. And the fact that our area of the galaxy seems to not be, we can't detect any radio signals, any kind of primitive stuff, any laser light signals, or, you know, any of the kind of things that we beam out looking for life. We've never had a beam hit us, you know, at least that we know of. Now, of course, remember when you asked me this question at the beginning of it, I said, it's altogether possible in my mind that we're being observed by a number of species in a coalition, or maybe one very powerful species, who has some sort of ethical obligation to allow us to figure it out on our own for the most part. But every once in a while comes and scoops one of us up and fucking monkeys around with our brain and sees how we're developing and sees what we're doing, and right? And certainly a species of sufficient power would be able to obscure us from any other knowledge that they wouldn't want us to have, right? So at this point in the three-body show that I'm watching, they go over two physics hypotheses. And these are like fringe kind of physics theories. Have you guys heard of the shooter and the farmer? I'm going to try and do this as best as I can, but keep in mind, I'm just a fucking hick from the sticks. So there is a chance that what we know as the galaxy is actually a lower plane of, like lower on the dimensions. Like our third dimension is actually low on the dimensions. And so that we can only see what interacts with us in our available 3 dimensions. But if there's a 4th dimension above ours, this is the shooter hypothesis, right? There's a 4th dimension above ours. There's a guy that has the most accurate rifle in the world, and he's shooting at a wall, right? And he's leaving 10 centimeters between each shot, right? In our universe, which is that wall, that's to him, from his perspective, it's just a flat surface. But from our perspective, it's everything we know. We develop a theory. The theory is, with all of our science, that every 10 centimeters a hole will appear, and we call it a fundamental law. But it really isn't a fundamental law. It's just the best we can do from our limited perspective. That's the shooter hypothesis. The idea that there is some greater being at a higher plane of existence or a higher dimensional existence, or just a being that experiences our three dimensions in a way that would baffle us, that is creating the physical phenomena that we observe. Okay, that's the shooter. The farmer, I think, is a little darker. Let's say that there are a group of turkeys. And to the turkeys, the barn is their whole world. And every day the farmer comes at 2 o'clock and food arrives. And after generations, the turkeys start to develop an ideology about it. They start to explore their barn and their worlds. And they discover a number of fundamental laws. Central to all of them is that 2 o'clock every day, the man shows up with food. Food comes. Right? So they believe this. They study it. Many turkey scientists are born from this nascent knowledge of the physical world around them. They learn everything there is about the barn. Everything is about the food that comes at 2 o'clock every day. And then 2 o'clock comes one day and no food comes. And the turkeys are all baffled. And the reason they're baffled is because it's Thanksgiving Day. And the farmer comes and slaughters them all. That's the farmer. How we doing, baby?
It's on the 10 minutes of cooling. The recipe recommends.
All right. Oh, it's almost lasagna time, folks. Maybe I'll be nice to you before I end it, and I'll take you guys in there very discreetly and show you the lasagna, so you'll know what you're missing. Nah, I'm not going to even give you that much. But I am going to think about you all. I'm going to think about you all as I devour lovely homemade lasagna.
Were you trying to tell them about three body earlier?
I was just telling them about the differences between the American version, and then we started talking about the actual concepts of three body, and we got off on the shooter and the farmer and all of that. Oh. If you enjoy your lasagna, Paul, oh, I'm guaranteed to enjoy my lasagna. Are we having French bread with the lasagna?
I mean...
No, never mind. I was just asking. No, don't worry about it. It's all good. It doesn't. We don't need it. I was just asking. Sometimes you do surprise me with French bread.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared.
No, baby. It's good. It's not needed. There's plenty of starch in that lasagna. There's a fourth book called The Redemption of Time, but it's Cixin Liu's son, and I have not read it yet. I want to reread The Three-Body Problem after I watch this show again, and then I want to try and read that. Nah, see, here's the thing, though. Garlic bread would go crazy with the sauce and everything, but I'm telling you, dude, one of the things I've learned as I've started to lose weight is you don't need all of that. Or if you have the extra, sometimes having way less of the main and the extras is a better thing than having a big pile of both. And in this case, bro, it's a good thing there's not bread.
I can make salad if you want.
Fuck. Oh.
Yeah, you want me to make
Would
it?
you, well, hold on, would you mind?
I wouldn't mind. I can do a little
It's not going to be
Caesar.
that big of a deal, right?
No, I just gotta chop up the romaine and do some croutons and cheese.
Fuck
Caesar.
yeah. Dude, my wife is the greatest. I gotta tell you guys, bro. She's the most wonderful fucking person. I'm gonna get a little side salad, a little side Caesar with my lasagna tonight. We have done it. Boys, we did it. The circle of life is complete. In just about 10 minutes, I'm going to be sitting eating homemade lasagna and a beautiful side salad watching Three Body. Like a guy who has truly won life. I have the cheat code. I applied it. Okay, it's up, down, left, right, up, right, left, down, A, B, select, start. You have a good partner, Chief. I try my best to be a good partner to her in return. And I think we work together because we both keep those sort of things in mind, I think. I made it. I know. I was telling my mom that the other day. I was like, Mom, do you realize I did it? And she was like, what? She was like, I'm about to be 45 next year. And I've survived my whole life on my own, and I've got it fucking figured out right now, and I'm okay. She was like, you know what? That's true. I was like, I did it. I did it. Honestly, is a good dinner. Yeah, and it's a meat-free lasagna. That might turn a lot of you off. I don't eat meat. I have not had meat for 6 months. At least, I think. It might be more than... I've been saying 6 months for like 3 months now. It's probably more like 9 months. It's part of my like dietary change that I made. So it's a vegetable-based lasagna with a homemade tomato sauce. And it's fucking amazing. She's made it before and it's just fucking dope. I have no hate for meat lovers or whatever the fuck it was. I didn't stop doing meat because of like some kind of like moral. Well, I mean, there is more. I do have moral. I am morally opposed to like the way that chickens are raised, the way that cows are treated. But I'm not a moralizer at other people about that. I've been a meat eater my whole life. I stopped because I was having really gross like textural issues with meat my whole life. And I thought I needed to force myself to eat it because everybody around me was obsessed with meat, burgers, steaks, fucking chicken breast, every goddamn day, right? Every second meal was just meat, pork chops, meat on the bone, fucking this, that, right? And everybody around me ate it. Nobody bitched about it. And I was the only one that like, dude, I would cut into a piece of steak, right? I put it in my mouth absentmindedly and I get like that piece of sinew. And it made me like gag, bro. It made me gag, like hard, you know? And I still have that, or had that, all the way up until earlier this year. In the middle of the winter this year, I had a fucking talk with my wife, and I explained to her my weirdness because she made a beautiful dinner like she did tonight. Chicken breasts and a side of like broccoli and all this good stuff. And I cut into it, and there was a fucking sinew in there when I ate it, a rubbery piece of thing. And I literally, like, gagged because of it. And, dude, Zach, is that you? Gagging on meat. Tattooed Zach? Bro, I need you more than ever now, man. I need you more than ever, homie. I know you are in high demand. I know dude, I've seen your work. You're fucking great. Dude, I need you, bro. What do I gotta do? Tell me what the fuck to do, bro. I will pay you whatever. I need you, bro. I'm dead. I know everybody needs a good tattoo artist. I know you're booked till fucking next goddamn century or whatever, but bro, I need you bad, bro. So what do I gotta do? I'm dead ass. What do I gotta do? How long do you think it's gonna take to do some tats on me? Like, what do I gotta, like, I wanna get a hold of you and see if you even think you wanna do the tats. And then I wanna get priced out, because you're getting paid, bro. I appreciate the offer, but, like, I've seen your work, and whatever, I can't make you charge me whatever price, but I'm actually only booked a month ahead right now. Well, my guy, should I like, because I don't have an Instagram. Do I need to get it like a low-key fucking private Instagram so I can reach out to you or whatever the fuck? Like, is that the best way to get at you with like some, because like, I don't know how this works with like, I have a design idea, I know kind of what I want, and I want to see if it's even feasible. You know what I mean? I wouldn't charge. No, 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 dude. We'll figure it out, all right? We'll figure it out. From what I can tell, it's all the way in your fucking wheelhouse, bro. I think you're not going to have a problem with it. Do you work or just stream all day? Streaming is my work. I've made money streaming, having a show, like... Instagram, Facebook, or text. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to fucking figure it out then. Tap Paul on stream, hook it up. I mean, I don't want to put him in that position. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know if what I want is in his wheelhouse. It looks like he'd be able to fucking eat it for lunch, but yeah, I've just gotta fucking like book that, and then I just book a flight. You see, I'm thinking about coming back east to do some activism in January or February or whatever. So I don't know, man. But if I book you, then we're booked out. You know, you tell me what you think it's gonna take. I'm hoping we can get it done in like a couple of days, but I want quite a bit of work done on my arms and hands. I don't have any tattoos. I can't decide what I would do. I have some great ideas, bro, but I don't want people to bite my style, bro. Dude, I've got the coolest idea for my right hand, and I think it's totally fucking feasible. And I think it actually might end up being easy. It's just colorful, but my cell is completely public, and I only respond to text, so I don't necessarily care about it being posted here, but it does seem against protocol. Oh. Well, I don't know, man. Do you follow me on Twitter at all? Do you do Twitter or Zitter or Shitter or the Titter at all? Just, you know what? Do me a favor. Drop your Insta handle or whatever you're at, your Insta at, so I can make sure that you're, like, I can find you. And I'm sure on your Insta has all that shit, right? Has your number. And then I'll call you up, bro. I'll hit you up. Or I'll text you, I mean. Light that cig up. I'm gonna shut up, bud. Chill out. Yeah, I just got to see the style you want. If it's out of my skill range, I can def send you the right artist. Well, that's what I need, man. Thank you. I'll reach out. Yeah, I'll reach out, bro. Here's what I can tell you, man, and I don't know if you'll be able to fucking even help me with this, but I assume you've had experience with this. I have one worry. I have eczema. So sometimes I'll get like these real itchy kind of breakout things, and I'm worried that the needle might do that to my hand, and you'll be like halfway in to start, because I want to get the backs of my hands, I want to get my forearms and stuff. Like, I've got like a lot of work I want to pay for, and but I'm worried that like I'm gonna go into a tattoo artist, I'm gonna get all settled, and then they're gonna look at me and like ask me about that, and be like, oh, I can't fucking start tatting on you then. I don't know, like I have a tattoo that I didn't react that way, but it's up on my arm. My hands tend to have more of a problem. No, it's all good, dude. Zach, I'll find you. I'll find you, because you're doing the right thing. You're like listing here. Let me just do this, and then you can post whatever the fuck you want, bro. You don't ever have to mod in here. I'm just making sure I don't lose track of you. You don't ever have to do a fucking thing. None of my mods do, but now you can post a link if you want, bro. And then I will be able to find, you know, whatever. You got like a link tree or whatever, and I'll hit you up via text. My old lady has eczema, and it hasn't affected by tattoos. That's probably a person-to-person thing. I do know jojoba oil has pretty much healed her eczema, so try it on those patches. Yeah, all right. Well, that's good to know, because, you know, that's a worry of mine. One of the reasons I want to get the tattoos is because I have a lot of scars, not just from eczema, but from like working. Like I have a really, it's hard to see for you guys, but every time I look at the back of my hand, I see that like horrible burn that I got on the back of this hand at Starbucks. And I've just got scars from just nicking my hands, busting my knuckles up. And I kind of want to like do something cool over that sort of stuff. I don't have big, deep scars or anything. It's just noticeable to me. When I look at my hands, they just look kind of like fucking, I want to just, I don't know, I want to feel good about my hands when I look at them, so. I'm gonna try that jojoba, dude. Because I went to a fucking dermatologist. Basically what they told me is, you've got eczema, it's a chronic condition, there's no cure. I'm gonna give you some stuff. The stuff he gave me was basically just slightly stronger than over-the-counter, like salicylic wash. Fucking, he gave me like a body wash with a fucking, what you call it, peroxide. He put me on a course of fucking, oh my god, never mind. Put me on a course of antibiotics, and it did nothing. So anyway, I'm gonna try the jojoba oil. I'm gonna reach out to Zach. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go eat lasagna. Ha ha ha. And a salad, because my wife loves me.